Hey guys, so quick thing about Leontief by tables. So this is specifically a reference to puzzle 4.6.9. So what happened here is I had an old version of the table that looks like this that doesn't have enough labels to be really useful. So I went through and I relabeled the table in a way that I think makes it more useful. So here's my new labeling of the table. We're just going to delete the old busted way and go with the new hotness. So from this, I'm going to make a quick exchange diagram. So that's going to be me drawing three sectors, right? I'm going to have an F sector, I'm going to have a C sector, I'm going to have a T sector down here. So this first column represents what F produces, and the first row represents what F uses. Remember that in a Leontief model, the production is equal to the usage. So in this first row, I see that F produces $30 worth of goods and F uses that $30. C produces, I don't know, some amount of goods and F uses $10 of those. T produces some goods, I don't know how much again, and F uses 20 of those dollars. Then there's an external demand for $40 worth of F's use, or sorry, F's production. Why that's in the uses row is that $40 represents the dollars that F gets and then uses, right? So that's an incoming edge and an outgoing edge, right? So F is both using $40 and uh, producing $40 worth of goods. So to draw in my arrows, I've got an F to F arrow that has a 30 on top, but this needs to be a proportion. So I have to go find out how much F makes. Luckily, I have this total column, or total column. So F makes 100. So that's $30 worth of F's 100, or out of F's 100 goes back into F. Then F uses 10 of the dollars that C produces. So that's C sends to F 10, but the what is it out of? It's out of C's total, which is 120. Then F gets from T, and from T, so T produces 20 and F uses it, and that's 20 out of T's total production, which is 110. Then we can also add our demand in. So F produces $40 worth of goods and intakes a straight up $40. So the rest of these I'm writing as proportions because we're going to have to account for their own production. But that $40 is straight up. There are just dollars coming into F's economy, or F sector of the economy. So then let's do C. So C uses 20 of what F outputs. So that's this arrow from F to C, and that's 20 out of F's 100. Then C uses 30 of its own. So that's a wraparound arrow here, and that's 30 out of C's total, which is 120. Then C also uses, oopsie daisies, that's lots of little stray dots. So C also uses from T 20 out of T's total of 110. Then we can trace my other two arrows. Oh, whoops, I forgot the production or the external for C. So I've got a pair of arrows, right? And that coming back in is $50 into the C sector of the economy. Let's see. So I have a couple more arrows here. I'm going to be T uses. So the F to T arrow is 10, and that's out of F's 100. Then the C to T arrow is also 10 out of 100. Okay. No, it's not. It's 10, but it's out of C's total production, which is 120. And then T uses 30 out of T's production, so that's a 30 out of 110. And then there's an external arrow here that is a 60, and that is a straight up dollars. So now if I write my equations, I'm writing, okay, so the size for F is going to be 30 out of 100 times F and 10 out of 120 C and 20 out of 110 T, and then they're also getting $40. Right, so this is F's output is equal to F's inputs. Here are my inputs for F. Okay, then we're going to make one for C. So C, and we could notice the pattern here. It's relatively straightforward. So I've got the same numbers from the row, but then the bottoms of the fractions are from the totals for that sector. Right, so I can say I've got 20 over 100 F and 30 over 120 C and 20 over 110 T and an external of 50. Oops. 50. And for T, we can write the same thing. So I've got a 10 out of 100 F. I've got a 10 out of 120 C. And I've got a 30 out of 110 T. And that one's got a 60 external demand on it. So that's going to let me make a matrix. So I can say here on the left-hand side, I've got a FCT. That's got an identity matrix attached to it. In this center bit here, I'm going to have a matrix that's kind of gross to write down. You'll have to bear with me on that. And then here I've got a FCT again. And then I've got my external demand guy. So there's a 40, 50, and 60 in there. And in this guy, I've got 3 over 10, 1 over 12, 2 over 11, 2 over 10. Oops, that's a fifth. Sorry, 1 over 5. 1 over 4, and 2 over 11, a 1 in 10, 1 in 12, and 3 in 11 there. Okay, so this matrix here is my matrix A. And we should spend a second and check that this kind of works. Okay, so I paused for a second, punched some stuff in the calculator. So I've got here my Desmos calculator. So I've got my matrix A input here. I've got my identity matrix input here. I've got my D vector here. And then I did I minus A's inverse D. So that was just me rearranging my equation here a little bit. So rearranging my equation here, I took I times FCT. I subtracted A times FCT from both sides. This is equal to my demand vector, this guy's D. And then I factored an FCT out. So I had I minus A all times my vector FCT is D. And then I inverted this to the other side. So I got the vector FCT is I minus A inverted done to D. And I got indeed the totals that they told me I should get. So I got what were they? 100, 120, and 110. And I can look at my little Desmos guy to see if that's actually what I got. Yep. Cool. So the trick with these is just knowing which side is production, which side is use. I revised the wording and I rewrote the example that goes with this. So hopefully that helps things along. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you later.